We're notating any kind of stress points that we see externally. We're also looking for possibility of drainage issues, which could lead to why we're here in the first place. So we're going to notate brick cracks, mortar joint cracks, seal cracks at the caulk line between the brick veneer and the windows. And like I said, also looking for any kind of drainage issues. So that's usually step one. And then we'll go inside, we'll take some elevation readings, and we'll put pen to paper on what the slope of the foundation is doing. We're also going to notate anywhere where we feel there might be a conversion to a garage, an addition, because that could change how this foundation was poured. While we might think it's part of the house, it could originally be part of the original garage. So we want to take note of that. That way, if it does need work, we can anticipate where the original footprint of the house was, which will indicate where we need to put piers based off the perimeter beam. So anytime we come across a brick veneer crack, we're going to stop, we're going to notate it, put it on an R form. And a lot of times when you notate everything on the perimeter and you go in and you take your elevation readings, these start to make a lot more sense on why we're seeing these cracks. Stair-step cracks are usually indicative of downward movement in the foundation. Vertical cracks typically are a heaving symptom where the ground has poor drainage. So again, when we're walking a property, we're always focusing on, is there poor drainage? And based off the lot here, you can see how the lot slopes towards the house. And if this does not move water well, what's going to happen is the ground will hold that water next to the house. The soil will expand and push the house upwards. So in a case like that, the answer is not a structural correction with foundation repair. It is drainage correction, more of an organic correction, where you're drying that soil out and bringing the heave back down, and it takes a little bit longer to achieve that goal, but it's the best correction method when you have heaving in a house. Instead of lifting a low end, you bring the high end down. A few hairline cracks over here, base of the windows, easy place for the home to move, and especially at these window joints. Separation there between the brick veneer and the frame of the window. We're going to come inside the house, discuss things with the homeowner, have them point out some things that they're noticing, what got us to the property, what their concerns are, so that we'll take a quick walk through there. But more importantly, what we're going to do is we're going to take slab elevation readings. The idea of this is we're assuming a home was poured and built relatively level. So this zip level, the yellow machine here, and then we also will use a 4-foot level, because a lot of times the measurements, depending on if it's a plumbing issue, seasonal movement, the measurements can be a bit deceiving. But what you can't be deceived with is what a door frame looks like. So we'll come in, we'll put a bubble level on the frame, and as you can see here, we're significantly off. So coming into a house, having the experience that Stratum does, we're not going to use just an elevation tool, because again, we're going off assumptions at that point. We will put, if we feel it's necessary, we will put a 4-foot level on the floor, on the framings of door frames, window sills, because it also paints the picture we need of what's the ultimate goal in correction. We don't want to use just elevation readings. So we're going to draw out the house that we stepped off externally. Make sure to indicate any concrete pads that might be in the area that we're working. That way, if we have to cut through those pads, we can advise the homeowner on how that's going to work. And then what we're going to do is set a reference point for our machine. Now, most of the time we would start center of the house. We should be in a performing foundation within about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch around the foundation. So once we establish that reference point, we'll be able to know what kind of variations we're dealing with. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we're calibrated. Zero it out. Put it on the top of the box. Come back down and I should be at 0. Perfect. We'll paint the picture. And we will get multiple measurements throughout the house. We want to paint the full picture. The more data we have, the more accurate we can be in a proposed repair plan. We do have to take into account flooring changes. Now, any measurement I take in this carpeted area, I will take out the delta in the elevation change, which was 1 inch in the flooring difference. Here's a great example of a out of a line door. So this side will need to be pushed up. So we've got the readings we need. We have the visuals that we need, but we still want to review what we just did. So that's our reference point. A performing foundation, these readings should be within 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And as you can see, we have a lot of undulation here. First thing I would point out to this homeowner is this high area, which could be subsurface water pushing that area up. As I go away from there, I start dropping. I start dropping over here. So in this inspection, I would recommend a leak test to the homeowner to make sure there's no subsurface water pushing that slab up. If there is, that leak would need to be fixed. Hopefully that would settle back down. Then we can reevaluate to determine what work would need to be done after leak correction. If there is no leak, then we're having to theoretically bring the home up to its highest point, which would be working around the perimeter and piers internally. And we will review the options with the homeowner, get their point of view, their expectations. This is not just a black and white diagnosis. We'll always review with the homeowner what their expectations are, how long you're going to be in the house. Is this something that you're going to be a long-term property for you, rental property, or your primary residence? It could change how you move forward with the repair plan. So we'll put all that together while we're on site with the homeowner, all options. And then of course we'll move forward with a structural engineer to certify any repair plan that we have proposed to a homeowner.